Welcome to BlueShoes. Today we're going to be doing some fishing, because of course as a Sonic fan it's the most important thing to learn how to do. So once we've taken out this monkey, I'm going to show you, because you want to get rid of this guy, he's going to get in your way. I'm going to show you what my workflow is. So the first thing I do is locate Froggy, or any fish that you're looking for. Here he is. Now, Froggy always swims in a circle, so it's really easy to identify where he's going to be at any given time. And he will always spawn in the same place in each of the levels he's in. So that's always very useful. The other fish, on the other hand, are a bit more randomised. So now I know where he is, I'm going to stand at a part of the pool which is nice and close to him. And of course, let's pretend I don't have the life raft yet, because of course you don't get it at the beginning. I'm going to stand really close to the ledge, because if you're too far away from the ledge, there's a glitch that happens every now and then where it cancels your fishing when you're just about to reel the fish in, and it's really frustrating. You don't really know what's happened. It's like, wait, did it just cancel it? Yes, it did. So by wiggling the bait, we can bring Froggy in, and by double tapping left or double tapping right as he bites the lure, I can guarantee that it's a hit. So by double tapping left and right, you move your bait to the left or right accordingly. You can see Big's animation just like dragging that fishing rod over while he's trying to get Froggy to move. And what I do is I basically just go left and right constantly, because it tires the fish out and it makes him much easier to reel in. Now in terms of reeling, you want to reel in quite a lot, because if you only tap the button you're not really going to make much progress. But equally, as that bar goes up, you get more close and more dangerous levels of tension on the lure. So really you're just sort of pressing intermittently, thrashing the fish left and right until you eventually reel it in. As you can see, by way of tiring Froggy out, he's not too hard to catch compared to other fish. I managed to do it. So that's kind of how I get around it.
Maybe next time.
Here's just another quick example where I managed to get Froggy to bite the lure, but my camera angle's in a really awkward place. So again, double tap left, that's it, it hits. So it doesn't have to be left, it could be left or right, but if you move the lure, the bait, to the left or right as the fish bites, it does guarantee it as a initiation of combat, I guess you could say. The chaos begins. So again, you know, with all the camera angles and stuff, I'm still just pressing left and right, double tapping left, double tapping right. You can go all the way over to the left or right, it doesn't really matter. The point is that you keep the fish moving and you keep reeling it in, just like so.
Oh, now what am I gonna do?
So, while that's the basics, there are some extra things I'd like to talk about, just to give you a bit of help, because it does get more difficult, of course, past just catching Froggy. But even before we finish catching Froggy, we got this little level here, Ice Cap. So again, the first thing I do is locate Froggy. He's always in this little pool over here. What a throw. Oh yeah, classic adventure bugging. So when I sink down here, you can see Froggy's here, and he's always in this little pool. So, and he's not very deep either, which is very convenient. So the temptation sometimes is to stand on the ledge here, but this is a really buggy ledge, okay? You don't want to fish here. So how can you when the pool's so small? Well, actually, this spot over here, there's probably other places you can stand, but this is where I go, has enough space where, as you can see, I can actually cast the lure while being in the water. Now when you're floating in the water, all those annoying glitches that cancel out your fishing are gone, because of course you're in the water with the fish, so it's very unlikely that it will bug out. It does every now and then, but it's a lot more reliable. So always try and be in the water if you can. There we go, I had a couple of attempts there, I managed to get him to bite, but once you have got Froggy in this one, you just have to let the lure drop down a little bit. It's a bit hard to gauge. He's actually really fast to reel in. Doesn't take very long. And then that's Ice Cap. I just thought I'd cover that one because that one's a bit tricky to understand and a bit hard to manipulate. Now then, once you've got the hang of catching Froggy, you'll soon realise that there are much bigger fish to fry when it comes to 100%ing this game, or even just doing some of the emblems and the trials and the mission mode. Now, in order to find a bigger fish, you need to compare the fish size to big, and if the fish seems particularly large compared to big, then of course it's a bigger fish. I mean, I don't really need to tell you that, but that's just the workflow. Now then, let me see if I can find one. Now then, this is the sort of fish we're talking about. This one's 1,940 grams, or 1.9 kilos, and he's a pretty tough guy, this one. I mean, he's taken me 20 meters away from big, which feels like a very demotivating long distance at first. But once you get into the flow of things, you know, left and right, left and right, left and right, and just reeling him in bit by bit, you do eventually reel him in. Now, you can get power-ups with big, for your lure and your rod, which does make things easier, but they're, you know, as and when you find them. They're not necessities, I don't think, but it will make your life a heck of a lot easier. So if you do have the time to go and find them, then go find them. Now, this sound effect here, this sound effect is used when a fish has a feat of strength and boosts in a random direction. Usually it's away from you, because most directions are away from you, really. Big's only in one direction. And most of the time, you know, it's a real killing point for your fishing, because the tension when the fish is pulling you and pulling away in this boost is really dangerous, and that's usually when the lure will break. So what you do is you just stop pressing the button, let him have his little run, and then when he's finished, start reeling him in again. Okay, he will tire out and you will bring him in, as you can see here. But yeah, when you hear that sound, just be patient, don't panic, just let him go and then bring him in bit by bit. And that's about it, really. So thank you so much for watching, and I really do hope this helps, because I know Big's fishing isn't everyone's favourite part of Sonic Adventure, and hopefully this can give you a little bit of an insight on how to do it a little bit easier. But yeah, keep trying, and eventually it will become a lot easier and you'll get into the flow. It's just one of those things we don't really want to have to do, but if you want to 100% this game, then hopefully this is of some use. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.